You're going to see a video of our camper, the inside and the outside. We have finally named her. She is Holly. Holly Hymer, because it is a Hymer, is the brand name of it. And Holly is a tramp. Literally. That's what it says on the back. That's the
That's the model name of the camper. And over here, tramp means like traveler, or I think one of the translations was hobo.
Yeah.
So, which doesn't really make it a whole lot better. No. So it's a Hymer Tramp 655 GT, I think is the designation. And it's about 20 years old. It has about 193,000 kilometers on it. Mm-hmm. So it's an older model.
But she has a bigger engine.
Yep.
And she has air suspension on the back.
Yes, and that was very important for adding the motorcycle onto the back.
Yes.
Was the air suspension. And we were told by Haro that anything within probably the last 5 to 7 years is kind of inferior quality. They kind of built them to maybe maximize profit a little bit more. And I think we all know from the COVID years, anybody in camping is telling you to avoid a camper that was built slightly before, during, and after the COVID years.
We have wood cabinets. It's like laminated, but they're real wood. And all of the finishings and stuff, it's not a lot of particle board or really thin plastic or anything like that. Everything is really solid made, and it works great. It's a little tight. Not gonna lie, it is a little small. But going from 2,700 square foot, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-garage house.
It's hard to put that on wheels and be able to drive that around.
I don't know how many square foot we have, but maybe 25.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Yep.
So you'll see in the video that everything is compact, but it fits and it works for us. And even with the dog, she's got her place and her things that she does. So it works. Holly works out great for us.
So there will be a video that I will do that will be around the outside of the RV. And I'll explain a few things of why we picked this one. And also the differences between a European RV and an RV from the United States. And then we'll go to Casey and she'll talk about the inside. And there's a few things on the inside that we were really looking for, that we wanted in a camper. And so we had to kind of prioritize those because we knew we weren't going to get all of them. Number one was the bed.
The bed. I was going to say there's 3 kinds of beds, basically. You have the island bed, which comes out and it kind of curves around and has like a dresser room on either side. That was our first and foremost. We wanted that one. Mm-hmm. We did not get it. The second one was a French bed, and that is a bed that's off to the side, but the bottom is cut off. It's one side is square or
tapered off.
Tapered off.
Yeah.
And
so it's a good bed for 2 people because I can get out with mostly not disturbing you. Because a lot of the other beds are turned the other way.
We're older and have to pee at night.
Yeah, so whoever is sleeping furthest from the edge has to crawl over the other person to get into it. So don't really have to do that.
Oh, well, there's 4 kinds of beds. Yeah, then there's the kind where the bed goes all across the back.
Yeah.
And that would be the one where one of us would have to sleep to the very back and you'd have to crawl over the other one, and that absolutely
that was our last choice.
Yeah.
Our probably second to last choice is what's called a German bed.
Yes.
And if you're a history buff and know about World War II, the submarines were called U-boats. Well, these beds are U-shaped. So I guess it follows in a fine German tradition of U-shaped objects.
It's 2 twin beds, and then the space up by your head has another cushion that you can have up there. but it takes up a lot of room. It takes up
the whole back of the
whole
back of the camper, where ours is shared between the bed and the bathroom.
Right.
So that allowed us to get a little bit shorter camper, so we won't have
as many parking problems.
Parking problems and problems on narrow streets and and stuff like that. So the other priority was probably the refrigerator.
Yes.
Because
which you'll see in the video.
Yeah, we'll show. It's a full-size refrigerator with a freezer, which is what we wanted. And then after we started looking into them, was kitchen design.
Yes.
So
I didn't want just, they have them where it's just a bench that has your cooktop and your sink. And there's absolutely no counter space. There's nothing. I wanted an L shape. It's not a whole lot bigger, but it does have a little extra counter space type area for, the crock pot can sit there or anything like that.
And ours came with something unique we have not seen in any of the other ones that we looked at, which is probably 50 or 60 models, and she didn't mention it in the video, but we have like the second sink off to the side that's very, it's not very deep, but it's basically like a drying sink.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're using it for, and it works great. So we got the L-shaped kitchen, and that was pretty much kind of our demands or our must-haves.
We wanted a shower in the bathroom, a separate shower. We didn't want the wet bath. The wet bath is where the shower and sink and toilet are all in one. And we wanted a separate shower. Not necessarily that we're going to be taking a shower all the time in that, because we choose campsites every couple of days and take showers there. But to have that extra space to be able to hang laundry, because they don't have a lot of dryers over here. So they hang clothes out, and in the rain or when you're traveling, you have to have some place to hang your clothes. So we do it in there, and a place to put our laundry basket or extra toilet paper and that kind of stuff is kind of what you store in your shower, and it's there in case we need it, in case we can't go very many days without a shower, so we still have one. But
so just like RVs in the United States, the amount of hot water is limited. I think the boiler is about the same size as most of them are there, which is 6 gallons, which is probably like 20 some liters or something like that here.
Not enough hot water.
So it's not gonna last long enough. So you usually find a campground and you take showers there. So I don't know if we will use it, if ever.
We haven't yet.
If we do, we'll probably make a video about it. It won't be X-rated or anything, but
nobody wants to
just
see
to
that.
say, hey, we used the shower, and report on that. So we'll start out with the video of the outside. And then we'll do the video of the inside. But before we go and do that, we need to remind you to subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up. Hit the little alert button on there so you know when our next video is coming out. Make sure you bookmark our Facebook page as well. If you're on Facebook, follow us on there. And then we also have our webpage, emptynestadventures.tv. There is a blog section on there. If you scroll down on the homepage a little bit, there's a little form you can sign up so you can get our blog post as well. Those are a little bit more up to date because it takes us longer to produce videos.
Yes, it does.
All right,
but we're trying to get them out.
Let's take a look at the outside of Holly Hymer, our 655 Tramp GT.
Yes, Holly is a tramp.
All right, so welcome to the outside of Holly Hymer, which is, I believe it's a 2004 Hymer Tramp GT 655. We'll find out when we get back through the graphic if I actually said the number right. We went with an older camper from the advice of Haro from Europe Road Trip, mainly because it's built better and they last longer when they're older, and it was a more affordable van. One of the reasons that we like this one is that it's powered by a 4-cylinder diesel engine, 3 liters in size, with a 6-speed transmission. So we've got plenty of power to get up and down the mountains and do just about anything that we want. Almost all of them here are diesel, and almost all of them here are stick shift. So let's take a look around outside. The first compartment that we have here on the side, this is where our gas bottles go. They call them gas bottles. We usually refer to them as LP tanks, liquefied petroleum gas tanks. We have 2 of them in here, and it has, both of them can be connected, just has a valve that you switch back and forth. So when one runs out, like we have right now, we'll be getting another one and replacing it. So we always have basically a full bottle on board, so we'll never run out of gas, because that provides our heat, heats our water, obviously for the gas stovetop, the gas oven, and it also runs the refrigerator when we don't have any power. So, main entrance door, we will walk through that later with Casey. We got a couple vents here. This one's for the refrigerator. This one's for the refrigerator and the gas oven that's up above that you will see later. We got our lovely sticker of places that we've been. Back underneath here is our basement, garage, whatever you want to call it. It's basically the area that's below the bed. Now, it's not the entire area. There's, wheel wells and some other things in there, so it's a little tricky to get everything that we needed in there. I got to invoke my inner Tetris to get it all packed in there, and hope that I remember how to put it back in when we take it all out. So the other feature on this side is we have an awning. It is a manual awning, so you have to crank it out yourself, put the legs out, and stake them down. So, all right, so the other side is kind of the, I guess you could call the party side or the fun side. It's got the awning. We can put the chairs out. You get the door in there and the light and everything else. And this is kind of the business side of things. So you'll notice kind of first off that we're going to have one thing connected, which is very different from RVs in the United States. And we're going to start right back here with this. And it's the bad spot to start. But instead of a black tank and a sewer hose, we have what's called a cassette toilet. Basically, if you've seen people in the United States camp and they stay in this campsite for a number of days, they don't want to hook up their trailer or take their rig, take it all the way to the dump station, dump out the black tank, and then put it back in the rig. So they will have sewer dump tanks. Some people call them honey pots. So that's basically what this is it's a small honey pot. And it comes out, it's got a handle, it's got wheels, so you can move it around. And then you take it to a place and you drain it out and you put a chemical back in it that helps keep it clean and everything else. So not the most pleasant part of the RV back here, but it is necessary. And for 2 of us, we can get about 3 or 4 days use out of it. So that's that. Next, we have our electric connection. Pretty standard thing that like what we have on campers in the United States. However, this one is different because on our travel trailer that we had in the United States, it took 120 volts at 30 amps. And the cord was about as big as my thumb. So it was very hard to coil up and store and everything else. You'll see this cord is very thin because this is 230 volts because we're in Europe. So it runs half the amount of amps, and you can run a nice thinner cord. It's much easier to spool up and everything else. So then next thing we have is our water tank. Now you'll notice there is no connection to connect up to full-time water supply. Like most RVs in the United States have, you can have your water tank, or you can pull up, connect to a water supply, put a filter on it, usually a pressure valve on it. Here you're all on your tank. So I believe it's a 100-liter tank, 25 gallons or so. And that is pretty much it on this side of it. Obviously, we're on the driver's side where we sit when we drive, but that's kind of the differences between a European RV and an American RV.
Hi, welcome to Holly. This is the front door, obviously. We have these pouches here that have like Salsa's leash and Salsa's stuff. Salsa's here. Come on in. Okay, first you walk in this way. I mean, it's a long hallway. But this is our bedroom. The aforementioned duvet covers and the bed. This is what's called a French bed, which means it's curved here. It's kind of cut off. So obviously this is my side since I'm shorter. We have a lot of cabinet space up here. This holds most of our clothes. And we have extra space even up there still. There's lights down there. There's little pouches here for my glasses and things like that when we sleep. Then there's the bathroom. We only use the shower for like storage, our dirty clothes. We'll hang clean clothes up there when they're trying to dry, and towels and stuff like that. I'll move back and let you get in there and look. And there's cabinets in there, and we put up on the mirror, up on the mirror, we put some shelves up and stuff to get it nice and organized for our medicines. We have a closet, holds our motorcycle jackets, winter jackets. We have a safe in here, a file folder in there. Down below is, we have a bucket and we have some shelves. We don't have much on it, but our boilers in there for our hot water and our heat. Then we have my garbages down here. And then I have 2 silverware drawers. And then I have a drawer for food and another drawer for food and such. This is my stove. Oh, wait, my spice rack. I had to order it from Amazon. It's magnetic. We have chili in the crock pot. We have a teeny tiny little crock pot. And I have chili in there for dinner tonight. But we have a 3-burner propane stove. And then it closes down and gives us counter space. The sink is right here. This handy dandy little board flips back and forth to go like that, or be a cutting board. We use the cutting board quite a bit for extra counter space. Bread's going to go in the oven for dinner. We wanted a full refrigerator when we were looking. The bed, this was like our second choice on bed, but this was our first choice on the refrigerator. And I wanted an L-shaped kitchen because it has a little more counter space. But we have a full refrigerator. And then we have a freezer. This is my propane oven. It's taking me a little bit to figure out how it works, but I'm getting better at it. I haven't burned anything, so some things take a little longer. And then this way, we have 2 couches, and I should mention that the windows all open, and they kind of open out so that the rain can come down. We still have the window open. They have screens if you pull them down. If you pull them up, they have blinds. So we chose not to have curtains. Some people have curtains on it, but the curtains in here were ugly, as was the fabric on the couches and the chairs. So I changed them out. So we have couch covers on all of this, and the front seats. But this is our table, and it does this really handy dandy thing. Not only does it move back and forth this way, but when we eat, Rodney sits over there and I sit here, and it folds out. So we have twice the table, and it's been big enough. Hey, out. And then we have the area up there that is Salsa's area for her dog bed and her toys. And right now she has lost a ball up there, so she's digging like crazy to try and find her ball. And then we have the front seats. Right now I have clean laundry hanging in the front seat because the sun shines in, although it's not sunny today. The light comes in and dries them, so we put them there. And then there's storage up above the top. So that's pretty much it. That's Holly.